Hey, welcome back to A Conversation With. My name is Philip DeFranco, and today we're talking to KallMeKris. Hello, Kris. How are you?
Hello, I am so good. How are you?
I'm great. What's your full name?
My full name is Christina, and Collins is my last name.
Collins.
But,
That's good.
yeah.
That's
How
like
many people know that?
no?
Now
Good.
they know.
Good. Now we're slowly exposing you right in the first few seconds.
Yes, it's great.
Kris, we're gonna jump into a lot of stuff, and I'm excited to learn more about you. And this is kind of like we've been in one Zoom call before this.
Yes, very brief, like 5 minutes.
Yeah, very brief. I'm always like, hi, bye, I gotta go do something.
That's okay.
I'm excited to learn more about you, but for the horrible monsters that somehow are not among the 27+ million TikTok followers that you have, who are you? What do you do? And what's your favorite color? Boom. Stupid third question, just to lighten things.
That. I am Kris Collins, otherwise known as KallMeKris on TikTok and all the other socials. And yeah, basically I started out making TikToks during the pandemic. And it is actually my 1 year today on TikTok. So here we go. 1 year, I got 27.1 million followers, which is crazy on TikTok. And my favorite color is blue.
And what kind of TikToks do you make?
Mostly comedy content for the most part. I just do, I write and act in my own scripts for the most part. I have like 30 different characters I use. And then sometimes I do other stupid things on TikTok, but I'm not good at dancing or doing any of the like regular TikTok stuff. Sure. So I just kind of do my own thing for the most part.
But what's cool, what I've really loved about the algorithm in general is that you can just have these like these verticals that people naturally gravitate to based off of their viewing patterns. It's so dope.
Yeah. It's great. Sometimes it's great and sometimes it's awful for some people, but like I've been blessed with the algorithm lately. So fingers crossed it stays like that.
And do you do you like saying I make videos or I make TikToks? Does saying I make TikToks, there are sometimes there's like weird things with the verbiage. I remember when I came up on YouTube, like there are a lot of people that resisted the YouTuber name at first because it was like seen as a less than thing at the time.
Totally. And that's kind of like the TikTok thing. Not that I think it's like what I do is less than or anything, but yeah, I say videos, but then you got to like go back and be like not like appropriate videos. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like you're explaining like what you're doing and you're like, you make videos on the internet. Oh, wow. Okay. But yeah, so that's usually, or say like the creator kind of name. And then people can use whatever they want with that.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder how many creators like yourself we've been given because of the pandemic of people going like, I have to do something. I forget if I mentioned this in like a video recently, but it reminds me as a way more horrible version of the writer's strike that happened back in 2007. Like a lot of people jumped on YouTube at that time, and it kind of reminds me of that.
Totally. And for me, it wasn't like I didn't join TikTok for it to be my job at all. Like I was just bored. I was a hairdresser before. I had to close my doors, and I was like, I like making videos, and I always kind of just wanted to, and I had the time because I was working like 7 days a week. So I was like, whatever. And then, yeah, a couple weeks went by and my videos just started to do well. And I had nothing better to do. And then I got to like December and I opened my doors back up with hairdressing. And then I was working 7 days a week doing TikTok and that. And I was like, something's got to give. And I'm like, I'm just going to go for it. Because like this kind of space, you just think like, oh, I can't make it in this space or like TV or whatever. And yeah, so at some point I was just like, all right, let's just try.
Yeah, well, there's a higher ceiling with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Though you were working on like actual shows, right? I think you worked on Riverdale. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I was like, since I was a hairdresser, I was doing hair and that kind of thing, and I did a little bit of background work just for fun. Like I never thought anything would come of it or anything. But yeah, I've had a little bit of experience on set and everything, and I thought it'd be cool one day to be like on TV or do that kind of stuff. But I'm like, it'll never happen. But now it's like, wow, this could actually like maybe happen. So
see, but I like that. Like I have this unjustified, because it's a natural career path, but I have like an unjustified dislike of people that set out from the beginning to be like, look at me, I'm special, rather than a person that like kind of just naturally did it initially for no money. It was just, I think that's where I've loved the initial purity of TikTok. Obviously, there's a TikTok creator
Yeah.
fund, which is, you know, it's little money compared to like for the views, and
Yeah.
then brand deals and stuff like that come in. But there's always something there's a purity that exists from creators that took the rise or got a rise on TikTok that I enjoy.
I agree. Yeah, because YouTube is a whole different beast and it takes a lot more effort. And I feel like YouTube's great. And I want to like transfer over to YouTube. I want to still do TikTok and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, with TikTok, you can really tell the people that are trying to get like TikTok famous or whatever from the people that are just making videos for fun and like it just happened to become their job kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. There's a very solid dividing line there. And usually it doesn't work out for those people because they're not being authentic to ththemselves. Like I really enjoy the videos that I make. Like I don't make any money from the videos I make because Canada doesn't have a creator fund or anything. Yeah. So I obviously make money from brand deals and all that kind of stuff in other ways, but I truly do enjoy making them and it's good for my mental health. So,
so it hasn't hit that point yet where you're just like, oh shit, cause you have to churn out content on a regular basis. Like that's part of the reason why I'll mess around with TikTok. I don't think I've posted something for 2 months, but I'm just like, it feels like to thrive, you have to be so incredibly consistent.
Yeah. And I made a video for today, actually. And I mentioned, and I posted every single day for a year. Is that healthy? Probably not. But I had a goal like halfway through the year. I was like, I've made it this far. I'm like, I can just push. But I think to celebrate, I might like take the day off tomorrow. Maybe, probably not, but I might.
You'll do that. And then like the next video will only do 4 million views and you'll be like, can never do that again.
And then it's like, I quit. But that's the thing. And I feel like you do need to be somewhat consistent for your audience or for the algorithm to like keep you relevant. I know some people though that take like a week break and they come back and they're totally fine. So I think it's like partly the goal that I had and then partly that fear. That's just like I'm fully ready to become irrelevant tomorrow. Like
you're fully prepared for that.
Yeah, I've been at peace with that since the first video that went viral. I'm like, this won't last. It's just like a cute dream that's going on. But I feel like my audience, they like what I do, and they, I don't know. I feel like they'll be around if I take a day off.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like as far as like creators that have built like an actual audience that, because I also think that you're going to be able to transfer that well. I mean, I've already seen you doing stuff on YouTube. I feel like you have an audience that will follow, and that's not always the case. And I think it's also because I don't know, there is something relatable, especially about the kind of like oldest, middle child, youngest stuff that you do. I can't fully relate to it because I'm an only child, but I'm like, oh, like I have to constantly ask people about like what it's like to have siblings because I have 2 boys, and it's slowly like I'm slowly realizing I have no control whatsoever if they're going to like each other or their personalities or anything. And also like I've been making peace with it very randomly over the last 2 weeks because I think it was actually in a TikTok because Chet Hayes memes started popping up on my page because that stupid white boy summer bullshit. And someone was like, you have no control over who your kid's going to be because Tom Hanks made both Colin Hanks and Chet Hayes. Yeah. Like just they could not be any different. And that's not he was at a different place in his life. Those are just different people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can only do as much as you can, try to make them not grow up to be murderers and stuff. And that's about all you can do. And then
that's
the rest
bar.
Is in your hands.
That's the bar. You're like, just don't be a felon. Just
exactly. Hey, that's my criteria for when I have kids, But yeah, like my parents, they did not expect me to do this. That's for sure. I was definitely like you need a 9 to 5, you need a pension, you need all this. And I was like, I'm going to be a TikToker. Actually, first I was like, I'm going to quit university, be a hairdresser. And that just took them out to begin with. And then when I did this, they were just like, do whatever you want. Like,
did they ever push anything on you when you were growing up?
Hey, mom, hey, dad, just get up. Yeah, for sure. For good reason. I understand their reasons. Like they didn't want me to get into drugs and all this stuff. So they made me do every sport under the sun. And I ended up getting like a scholarship and all that kind of stuff when I went to university. Like I played soccer and everything. And then like extra academia and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously their expectation was that all of us, I have 5 siblings, but that we'd all get degrees and get good jobs and so on and so forth. And yeah, so when I decided that I didn't know what the heck I was doing in university. And I've always liked working for myself and doing stuff with myself and being an entrepreneur and all that kind of stuff. Like since I was 14, I've always had like 2 jobs, and one of which was my own business. I was like cleaning houses to begin with. And then I was like, I did anything to just be my own boss because it's the best. Like I don't, and you just have, and then I was a hairdresser, but I worked for myself. So that was great. And then I did this and I'm like, cool, I'm working for myself again. Like this is going my way. Like this is great. So it all kind of worked out in my favor. And now my parents, I can do the I told you so to my parents, which is kind of fantastic.
It's a great feeling. Was there a moment in college that was kind of like your breaking point?
Yeah, it was when I did all of the like extracurriculars that you had to do to get your major or minor or whatever. And then I had to choose a major, and I was like, I did 2 years and I was like, I have no idea. And I was doing it to make my parents happy, which what most of us do that. And I was going to be a teacher, and I was like, sure, that could work.
That's what you want. But that's the thing that ideally you say to yourself when you go into a career for the rest of your life. I guess I could do this.
That's what I think about. I'm like, my life is so short. Like, I feel like I'm not going to be like fulfilled with that. And I was like, I really like being creative and doing this kind of stuff. And I'm a sponge. I like when people talk to me. I don't really like talking to people as much. So I was like, hairdressing is cool. Like I could try that. And I loved it. Like I if all of this went to shit and I had to go back to hairdressing, that would be okay. Like obviously this is ideal. I love this. But yeah, so yeah, I got to a point where I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was also at a really low point in my life as well. And then I went traveling like everybody does. And then I came back and I was like, I'm going to be a hairdresser.
When you traveled, where'd you go?
I went by myself to Southeast Asia, and I went to like Vietnam and Thailand and Laos and Cambodia and stuff, and the Philippines, and I met really cool people. I think everybody should travel by themselves once in their life if they can.
I agree.
But yeah, and then I came back and I was like, you know what? Like I want to do what makes me happy. So that's what made me happy at the time, and yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I say, yeah, everyone should. I've never traveled by myself. I've always gone with my wife. She's the one that kind of like forces me to. But you saying that, it reminded me, even it was before we got married, but she was like, my wife was like, or my girlfriend at the time was like, I kind of just want to travel. And I was like, yes, do it 1,000%, especially by herself. I know when she did it by herself, she enjoyed it a lot more than when she went with a friend. Not anything negative with the friend, but it's just you get to be your own person. Like it's very easy in a group to like fit into a role rather than like it being about you.
100%. Yeah. And I was with my boyfriend at the time. Right now, we've almost been together for 6 years, but we had only been together for a year. And I was like, so I'm going to leave for like a month.
It's not about you.
yeah, exactly. And he's like, okay, I think that's really good. I think that's really healthy. And then I came back and I was like, that was great. And if he ever wants to go on a trip by himself, I'll be like, you go have fun. Like, call me when you land. Like, I think that's really important in relationships and just for, your own self journey.
Was there like a favorite spot, favorite moment from that?
Yeah. It was like 5 years ago now, but I went to Vietnam, which was probably my favorite place when I went there. And I was in Ha Long Bay and we did like a 2-day boat trip. And it was just like, it was like you were in Avatar. Like it was crazy. There's just all these cool mountains in the water. You felt like you were on the sky. It was really cool. And that's like the time where I was really by myself. Like I made friends along the way, but then I did that by myself. And it was, it was really cool. We did like yoga on top of the boat and on top of like a mountain. It was great. It is spiritual.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is interesting that like us just experiencing the planet as it can naturally be without us astroturfing it. That it can be such a, even like, okay, so I don't believe in like any of the energy bullshit and stuff like that, but there is something I inherently get from like if I'm doing a hike or even just in my own backyard now, because I'm very fortunate enough to actually have like about an acre right now to go shoeless in the grass and just feel like I'm not in this thing that was destroyed by man and made for me. It's
right.
Granted, it could be I had that thought when I was very, very high at one moment and I was doing that, but it's always stuck with me. It's always stuck with me.
And that's okay. You got to have those moments. You know, I live in the middle of a forest now, so I totally get what you're saying on about an acre. But yeah, it's very nice. It's very, I think everybody, if they can, should have some sort of nature in their life. I need it. Personally, I'm not a big city person. I could never live in the middle of a city or anything. And that's probably because I come from a little farm town. But yeah, that's really important to me.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Abbotsford, British Columbia.
Okay.
And I literally only live like 25 minutes away from there right now. And I'll probably move back there, at least get a house there just for a homestead. But yeah, it's just like, it's known as like a pit stop town.
Okay.
It's like you stop there for gas and McDonald's and you keep moving. So just a lot of farmland, and it's great though. I like it. It's not busy. It's not loud. If I go into like Vancouver, which I'm sure you know, Vancouver, it's just, it gives me anxiety. Like I cry every time I drive there because there's one-way streets and I'm the idiot always going down that one-way street doing an 8-point turn to turn around. So yeah.
I was like, the peaceful thing is it's something that someone I hate now, but it's very true, said to me when I lived in North Carolina. They're like, you're going to miss how peaceful this is. And Grant, it was at a time where it was like lucky if I could connect to the internet, like dating myself, 56K modem, like flip cell phone, like horrible reception. And I was like, I would never miss this. And I don't miss being disconnected from the world, but I do 100% miss the ability to put it down and just like sit down and just hear nothing, nothing. Cause
see stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Because you're in LA, right?
Yeah, and I, unlike a lot of people doing the I'm moving out of California thing, I think I'm going to stay here unless we elect Caitlyn Jenner as our governor. Then I'm out. Then I'm like, I don't know what the fuck California is doing. Yeah, and it's
that's a thing. I did not.
Oh,
I did
well,
not know that.
Yeah, there are reports that like I'm gonna say I haven't looked too far into it because it just the prospect fucking annoys me. But yeah, apparently like she's looking into it. May or may not have like Brad Parscale, who helped with the Trump campaign, helping her in an unofficial, unpaid manner. Once again, early reporting. If it's true though, she's as far as her stances, very flip floppy, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff. And I don't know. Like, and also, she may or may not. I have to look at like she may have killed somebody. So there's that. Ideally, that's not someone.
I can't wait for that
anyway,
episode.
I'm just very randomly angry about Caitlyn Jenner. Hey, it's just me interrupting my podcast to thank one of the sponsors of today's show, Noom. Noom is a new and different way to lose weight if that's what you're looking for, get healthier overall, and achieve your goals using proven cognitive behavioral therapy tools and practices. Personally, I use Noom because I've been trying to develop healthier habits, and I gotta be honest, I really do feel better about myself when I'm keeping myself on some sort of schedule. And with Noom, it's just easier to stick with my goals. Noom feels different because it works by leveraging psychology and science to help people live healthy, more fulfilling lives. One of their mottos is strive for progress, not perfection. Basically, do what works for you, which is honestly the type of encouragement I find helpful as I work on my daily habits. Even I have help articles that are there to support you and are a great reminder that making better choices does take practice, and I just need to keep practicing. Basically, it's the pep talks you already know. It's just the reminder you need every once in a while when life gets away from you. So if you want to try them out, just head on over to trynoom.com/ACW and take Noom's 30-second quiz for free to create a truly custom program for you. But with that said, back to your regularly scheduled podcast. Do you think you'll ever move to the States, move to do the LA jump that everyone ends up doing, or are you going to stay home?
I never had a desire to, but it just comes down to everything is down there. Like I'm looking to like make my own show and do all these things. And yes, there's a lot that goes on in Vancouver now, and which is nice. It's not that far away from me. Yeah. So if I can make it work up here, then that would be great. But I would love to come down there, see what there is for me, and then maybe have if I have the means, have like a 2-home situation, like flip-flop. Yeah. Because I love Canada. I love living up here and everything. But I've been down to LA and everything, and it's just so much is happening there, and it's really cool. Yeah, but the people it's funny because nobody knows me. I feel like in LA, like all the like the LA TikTokers, I'm like sneaking past them slowly, like the little Canadian, like they don't, like they are all doing their dances and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what they're doing. And I think I'm like the black sheep of TikTok. I just got me and my 30 characters. And yeah, I feel like I'm just so irrelevant to all of them, which is fine.
You're a TikTok house in your own.
Yeah. Oh God, I would never be in one of those either. I've been invited in a couple.
How dare you? How dare you slander the Hype House and or the other names that I don't know?
I know. I'm gonna be cut off TikTok now.
Just booted. What do you? Yeah, I mean, do you watch a lot of other content now that, I mean, because you create so much, and what I've always noticed is when someone creates, unless their whole brand is kind of built on collabing and it's like, and kind of growing that way, you end up watching less. But do you still watch a lot?
I don't. I really don't. I spend my entire day writing scripts and trying to figure out how something's going to work or how my next episode, because I kind of have like this weird TikTok show now going on, how that's all going to pan out and everything. And I don't collaborate that often. I probably should more, because I know that's like the thing in this realm. I have serious control issues, and I like things a certain way, and I don't want to assume anybody wants to collaborate with me. I'm just like, I don't want to ask anybody, even though there's some people that I would love to collaborate with and everything. So I think that's something I need to get past. I need to get past, like, you just ask. Like, the worst thing somebody could say is no. And then I need to know that, like, to let go of control, because, like, I don't want to.
Yes and no.
It's hard.
Yes and no.
It's hard.
Yeah, because the control issue I get, like, it's one of the reasons why anytime we have a guest on, I'm like, literally, if we get into a place and it's not because you lied to me or something like that, like you get into a place where it's uncomfortable or you want to remove something, let's do it, because I have massive control issues. I don't jump on anyone's podcast. I don't do really anything. The last time I fucking did it was I went on the Streamies. I did a little 10-minute interview, and the only part that I believe they ended up posting was a part where I blinked on someone's name, and I don't know if they did it so that it could see, and it just came off like I was like trying to trash this guy, Steven Suptic, that I had worked with, and I was like, no, I did this interview at the end of like a 12-hour day. I was messed up, and that's the only clip you posted, you sons of bitches. Yeah,
of course.
So, and every time I kind of give up control, something like that happens, unless it's another creator that I've worked with for a while. I don't know.
Totally. Yeah, no, totally. And I just don't, I've worked with my sisters now on TikTok and everything, and we've done a couple videos together, but she's just like, you are awful to work. Because I'm just like, can we do it again? Like 50 times. I'm like, okay, that was like, your inflection was a little bit off. Like, you need to wait a second, wait a beat, and then come back in. And then she's like, oh my God. Like, she's on TikTok having fun, and she does her own thing, and she does fun little dances and does cool stuff. But yeah, I'm like I run it like, because I did work on TV sets. I'm not gonna. I run it like that, even though it's myself.
You're like, this is what we're doing.
So I just don't want people to think I'm crazy, but I am. So that's fine.
In what ways do you think that you're crazy?
I'm definitely a workaholic, and I don't have a social life. And then I have like so many different characters and voices in my head constantly. Like, it's just, but it's like a coping mechanism for me. It's a creative outlet. It's my escapism, and it comes from years and years and years of depression and all this other stuff. And I found a way to use that and to my benefit and everything. And I've always had a bit of a funny bone, I guess. I've always been a bit of the black sheep in the family. I'm like the sarcastic person. But yeah, I just, I think people can relate to me and everything, but then, yeah, I don't know. Crazy. Maybe crazy is not a good word for it. Maybe it is. I can't think of another word for it. So
yeah, I mean, it's sometimes I find myself, I've so just out of habit, I've used crazy and insane a lot, and it's like, it's like, I know I shouldn't use those words because it's like they're actually attributable to other serious things, but it's like, I don't want to describe myself as odd and quirky.
Exactly. Those are the worst. I'm so quirky. Like, no. It doesn't fly.
No. Well, in your family, where do you land? Are you middle, oldest, youngest?
I am the second oldest out of 6 kids, technically. I have a super messed up, like, parents divorced. They both had 2 kids. So me and my older sister were full siblings, and then I have 4 half siblings. So I'm the second oldest.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I have a half brother that's 10 years older than me. I have a half sister that's 10 years younger than me. And
Yeah.
do you end up having a relationship with the half siblings, or no? It's like it's too disconnected.
Oh, no, totally. We're all super, super
That's
close.
awesome.
I grew up with two of my half siblings, all the same mom, and then the two of them have a different dad. We all grew up in the same household, and my dad and my stepmom had two kids, and we visited them all the time and everything. But there's like a 13-year and 10-year age difference with the youngest two. So yeah, I'm almost like an auntie to them in a way. It's like I raised them.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I can get all this mom stuff right on the nail, because I don't have any kids.
Mm-hmm.
But because yeah, I like raised my siblings with my older sister basically.
If I can ask, and it's one of those that you can go, the relationship with the divorced parents, good and amicable or nasty?
No, you know what? It was actually, I'm very blessed. It was good and
That's
amicable. Yeah, for the most part, at least from what I can remember. I don't know about the really early days, but yeah, it's like my mom was pregnant with me and had me during the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't ideal. But yeah, from then on, they're like, I wouldn't say like friends, but they're fine. So I'm very lucky with that.
Kris, where's your trauma come from that made you decide I'm going to be funny?
Oh man, so many years ago. I can't nail it on the head. We've tried to in therapy,
Sure.
but I don't know. You know, like my depression and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had it, my grandma had it, all that kind of stuff. I think it's hereditary and everything. And I've had a few instances in my life that I would consider traumatic that I won't get into or anything like that. But yeah, it just caused me to, I don't know. I just always wanted to make other people happy because I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot and I'm not going to say I'm a comedian or anything like that, but with comedians like Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, all those people, I think it's something like that. And then the only thing that makes me happy, at least at the time, was making other people happy. Mm-hmm. And then, but yeah, it wasn't good for my home life though, because I remember going to high school and stuff, and I would be the comic relief, the class clown, whatever you want to call it. And I'd be super, super happy all the time. And then I'd get home and I would just be a bitch to my family. And I feel so bad because I was like, this mask was heavy all day. And now I'm just going to take it off. Like, I'm going to go in my room, like, you know, so yeah, it was a lot of that. And then it just came down to like a lot of therapy and figuring out like where that came from and how I can, you know, and this just happened to be a great outlet for me. Yeah. And it's helped in a lot of ways. So yeah. I don't know if that even answered your question.
No, it does to a certain degree, and I'm not going to pry too hard. I would say, one, if there's something I can get out of that, or if I can say to that, is, well, when you compare yourself to people that have like legendary, like storied careers, it's always going to feel like smaller. But I really hope, and I know that you're like now just passing the first year of all of this and everything like that. I really hope for you that you allow yourself to like not feel like you have to qualify your success or your abilities just because it's different and new. Like, cause like, sure. if every day, I mean, it's scary because feeling validated because of the numbers is scary because it will eventually dip, even if it's just temporary, and that can rock you. But like, you're at a level that very few people have touched, and it's not, I mean, you can thank the algorithm for getting it to start, but like staying power is kind of, I think, the thing that showcases someone actually having the ability. And so I really hope that you don't like qualify and minimize it. Because but also at the same time, I don't want to inflate your ego too much because you seem great and like an actual person right now.
Thanks. No, I appreciate what you're saying and everything. And I just and I don't feel like with it's crazy seeing those numbers. Like, I don't think any person can process that. Like, people are like, what does it feel like? And I'm like, I've only met people like in Save-On Foods or like a supermarket or whatever that are like, hey, you're that chick. And I'm like, yeah. But like, you can't process 27 million people. So I'm just like, I entertain people on the internet and it feels good, but I don't feel any different. Mm-hmm. I just feel like I'm making videos and people enjoy them, and that's really cool. Like that's what it all comes down to. So I guess when I do compare myself to great comedians and everything, it's just like they're like out there like on the red carpet and making movies and doing all this stuff. So what you're saying is completely true. Like it's just different. It's just a different kind of, I don't even want to say fame. I hate that. It's just a different.
You'll get over certain things. I hated saying the word fans for a decade.
Yeah, I hate that too. I just say like my friends, my followers, I guess.
Yeah, but then it's like then you like I say the same things, but then it's like you get into that weird like, okay, everyone kind of understands parasocial relationships. They're understanding it more and stuff like that. But there is a place where there's a weird line there that like. Because I feel like there are some people that lean into it fraudulently, and it's kind of, and that feels nasty.
It does. Yeah, it definitely does.
But so I'm wondering then, what do you see as success? Like how do like at this? Because if I had I don't know what do you see as success?
Totally, absolutely. It's funny because I look at some even we'll just talk about TikTok. I look at some TikTokers that are like below my numbers, which I don't care, but I look at them and I'm like, oh, like they're awesome. Like I would like love to meet them. Like they're famous. And so when I look at me, I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like, it's weird. And then I look at like you and like so many other YouTubers that I've watched for years. And I'm just like, yeah, they're like famous YouTubers and everything. So I don't know. I guess it's my own thing. And I don't think it like takes me to get on TV or anything like that to make me equivalent to that. I think it's just, I don't know, accepting yourself as semi-famous, I guess. And then everybody, especially YouTubers and stuff, are like, TikTokers aren't like, so it's like, well, I'm coming to YouTube then too. Like, I feel like you have to prove yourself.
That happens every time. Like the number of YouTubers, the number of YouTubers are like, oh, Viners, and it's like, yeah, I bet you wish you had their numbers there, and then they like Viners and also TikTokers can transition to Instagram so successfully, because really, I mean, there's always like a different version of it. Like getting people to YouTube is always the hardest thing, especially if you're like on a platform that it really stresses short form content. But I also think TikTok allowing like playlists now and for like series in that way, I think it's gonna open it up so that it's easier. Although the only kind of TikToker that I'll be like a little bit, and it's probably because I'm just not I was never one of the pretty kids that could do it. I just and not like, because if you're a dancer, you rock it. But the people that just like take what actual dancers do and do it with like 25% of the passion, but they have like a nice smile.
And 25% less clothes. Yeah, I get that.
That's the only, because everyone else, like, there's so much cool shit there. The problem is like, based off of my natural interests, it's like slowly becoming less about comedy and it's more about politics. And I'm like, no, I came here to avoid this. What am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. Your For You page just knows what you like. And it's like, I just want to watch funny stuff.
Yeah, just people dunking on each other.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I agree. And my For You page, God, it's like dogs. And then like maybe some comedy stuff, some comedy sketch stuff. And then yeah, that's about it.
I feel like I do wonder if it'll feel more real for you the first time post-pandemic you go to like a VidCon, or you do your own like sort of live show in front of you could easily fill like a 2,000 person thing, which is kind of like, it's crazy. I mean,
I think that's might be what it is, because I don't see it physically. It's just like people saying, I like you on the internet. And it's like, all right, well. So yeah, I think that might be what it is. And I would love to do that. I would love to meet all these people that I've been so blessed with like such a positive community. Like I'm sure they're there. I'm sure there's lots of hate comments, but for the most part, I see lots of positive comments and stuff. So it's really cool. I would love to meet these people.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think because for me, that was the moment it felt real. We were it was myself, my wife, now girlfriend at the time, an editor, and my producer traveling through Europe, and we tried to do meet and greets. It got really nasty at one point because like you just try and get like 1,000 or 2,000 people in a park, and it's like,
Yeah.
trampling scares and stuff like that. And so
Oh my
we did
God.
this show in Ireland in front of 2,000 people, half-assed, like put together in the sense of like we got the place. I had a friend at Coca-Cola that gave us the money for it,
Nice.
just to like do the deposit and so we could sell tickets. And it was essentially a Q&A with me and my editor. and
Nice.
and the crowd was great. And that was the first moment that I was like, oh, this is real. Because otherwise, yeah, you see the numbers and then you compare, you contrast, it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's what it'll probably take, which I don't know. Who knows when that's going to happen? Because I don't even know.
Although I wonder if on TikTok it feels different because do you get duetted a ton? Because that's like the participation, the interaction. I love
Yeah.
the fact that you can look at a comment and someone will actually have a bunch of stuff created as well. That's one of my favorite things about the platform.
It's really cool. It's really interactive, and that's what I do really like about TikTok. I can go to my, tags and see all of the duets or things people are tagging me and that other creators made about me, or somebody drew a painting of me or whatever. It's just it's super interactive. So I definitely see it in that way. Or people just making videos talking to me and tagging me or something. I watch them. I don't watch TikTok during the day or anything, but before I go to bed, I always go through all of my tags and I try to like as many things as possible. And like, I want people to know that I do like appreciate them and I see them and I watch their stuff that they make and everything. Obviously I can't see everything, but yeah, it's cool. It's definitely cool.
Have you, when you say stuff like that in the sense of like you interacting and doing stuff on that platform or really anywhere else, do you have in your head like a strategy of what you're doing, or it's just kind of naturally what's interesting or naturally what you want to do for people in your community?
Yeah, I'm going to sound really unprofessional saying this. I don't really have a strategy. I've gotten here fully by just doing what I want. But I truly do care about them. And I remember at the beginning, like as if I wouldn't, but like at the beginning, I tried to answer every single comment. I tried to get back to every single DM and all that kind of stuff every single day. And then I realized I'm like, I'm spending 6 hours a day, like just going through my DMs and all this stuff. I'm like, it's not healthy at that point. Right. So now it's just kind of I allot, an hour or two, go through it the night, whatever, try to interact as much as I can and then go to bed. So I guess there's some strategy there. And then I'm just, I just have a set schedule for when I make videos and all that kind of stuff. So that's like the strategy. It's in terms of content I make and everything, I usually plan like 2 to 3 videos ahead and try to write scripts for them. But then half the time I just improv it off of the script and I don't even do what I was supposed to do on the script. So I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Kris, I got to ask, because I've never had to talk to you or talk about you on a show because you did something bad in general. While you said that, there are probably hate comments there, you get a lot of love and a lot of people like you. So I need you right now to share one opinion that you have that you don't share because you think that it is genuinely unpopular.
Oh my God. What are you trying to do to me, man?
I'm trying to get a 60-second clip to post on TikTok and expose you. Good.
No. I love it. I love it. That's all I want. I want a scandal. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I don't know. Give me a topic at least, because I really don't have a whole lot of controversial opinions.
Sounds like a safe topic. It is incredibly not. What is an unpopular movie or TV show opinion that you have?
Okay, well. The Office is all right.
That is, there's never been so few words said that immediately, and it's so calmly said that are gonna have like.
No, I love like Dwight and all those things, but yeah, it's just I got tired of it.
Near the end,
I got tired of it. Yeah, I did. That's the most controversial thing I have under my belt.
Well, it's been good knowing you. It's all downhill from here.
It's been real. It's been good.
Hey, let's take a second to thank one of the fantastic sponsors today, Manscaped.com, and specifically the awareness they're trying to bring to testicular cancer. Did you know one guy every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer. And the Testicular Society and Manscaped are committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support to fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer. Manscaped has made it their mission to spread the word to check yourself once a month, have regular doctor visits if you feel something's off, and always use the right tools for the job down there. And if you are in the market for some new grooming gear, Manscaped has the perfect Package 3.0 kit made just for you. It comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof, cordless body trimmer, and a ton of other products for your below-the-waist routine. The trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade with advanced skin-safe technology to prevent accidents and a battery that lasts up to 90 minutes so you can have a longer shave. And you also get their Crop Preserver, a 24-hour anti-chafing moisturizing deodorant for below the waist. So get 20% off plus free shipping with code DeFranco20 at manscaped.com. That is 20% off plus free shipping with code DeFranco at manscaped.com. It's my name and your ticket to 20% off plus free shipping. But that said, back to the podcast. All right, Kris, I have these cards. You said you did some research. You might be familiar with some of these questions. That's the only risk. We're going to do, but the way I want to do it is I want to do kind of a speed round. So you're going to be forced to answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, how am I going to do a speed round with questions like this? Okay. Kris, who have you felt the closest to this year and why?
My most significant other, Aaron, because he has helped me a lot throughout this and he's been super supportive. And he also says hi, by the way.
Hello. What did you want to be when you were growing up and why?
I wanted to be a stand-up comedian because I'd like to tell jokes.
Describe what your ideal vacation would be like post-COVID.
Ooh, I would love to do the snowman trek in Nepal. You go to the base of Mount Everest. Mm-hmm. It's something on my bucket list. I really want to do that. So yeah.
Who has influenced you the most and how?
Oh no, probably my grandpa, my pops. He's a fantastic man, and he's super funny, and he always encouraged us to do what we want. And yeah, I've taken that and I've used that. And yeah, I look up to him a lot.
It kind of touches on that. What experiences did you have as a child that you wish others could have too?
Trauma.
Oh, no.
No. It'll give you success. You know what? I appreciate my parents pushing me to do stuff I didn't want to do all the time because I think I grew up just, like being tough.
Mm-hmm. Kris, if your dad were here, what would he tell me about you?
Genuinely, and I have a stepdad and a dad, and I consider them both my dads. Mm-hmm. They would both just say how proud they are of me. I know that's what they would say. So yeah.
This might be hard because you share a lot. What's something you secretly wish people knew about you?
Oh, yeah, that is hard. I don't know. I'm an avid painter.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the last one for this round. What was your most embarrassing experience?
I peed my pants in gym class in grade 12. Everybody saw, and I wanted to kill myself.
Oh my
It was
God.
awful.
I was like, was that the beginning of the year or end of the year? that follows you.
Middle of the year.
Okay.
So yeah, I just needed to. Yeah.
Was that something that people held on to for a while, or was that?
Honestly, no. It blew over pretty quick. It was just like gym class, and it was all girls, and they're all pretty supportive.
You're like,
but I was still embarrassed.
Yeah. You're like, someone luckily got shot and died, and that kind of took the attention off of me.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
Now, the fun thing with that is I'm going to go back and dive a little bit deeper into that. So wait, how did you meet your significant other? Oh,
okay, yeah. He's I met him at a barbecue in a backyard. Classic. Mm-hmm. He was actually my cousin's best friend, and I just never met him before. Mm-hmm. And I saw him. We live in two different cities. We still we still are long distance ish. And yeah, I don't know. He drove motorcycles, and he was attractive, and he was funny, and he had a nice smile. And I was like, well, that's my criteria. So, check. He has a personality. Great. Yeah. And then we just hit it off, and it was like on my 19th birthday, many, many moons ago. And, yeah, it was good. And then we just kept up the long distance thing. And now we're looking to move into a house now. Finally, it's been awesome. Like 6 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good.
So that you never had to experience like the dating app stuff or anything like that?
God, I couldn't. I don't know how people do it. I hear all these stories and I'm like, I could never just put my plaster my face on the internet and be like, pick me. Like, so, don't swipe. Like, I couldn't handle that rejection.
Yeah.
I need I would, if I wasn't with Aaron right now, I'd be alone and I'd be fine with that. Like I never was looking for, I was kind of annoyed when I met him. Sorry, Aaron, because I was ready to be like single and just like thrive, do my own career. And then I met him and I was like, fuck, like he's perfect. I gotta go with this guy. So, but we're super independent people and we do our own things, and that's what I need, and that's what he needs too. So it's good. It's good.
So you guys don't live with each other?
No, we don't, and I'm slightly terrified too.
I was going to say that's a big move. That's a big move.
It is. No, I mean we've had like weeks where we've like been together and lived together and stuff, but it's different. It's different. It'll be interesting.
Have you traveled together at all?
Nope. No, because that one time I traveled, that was when I just went by myself. And then he was going to school. And then it was kind of just like a yo-yo back and forth. We both had something going on. We was planned to. And then, we've taken road trips together, though, that were like days, like weeks long.
That's big.
And that is the test of time. Yes. Like the first 3 weeks into our relationship, I took a road trip to Saskatchewan with him, which if you don't know Saskatchewan, it is just flat and shitty. Sorry, Saskatchewan. I love it. They're really nice. But yeah, that was, and we made it through that. So I think we'll be good.
Yeah, no, road trip is huge. I didn't talk to my best friend at the time for a week after doing a cross country trip together. And I was like, nope, we hate each other now.
Yeah. It's a big test.
Yeah.
Big test. Yeah.
When you said you want to be a comedian growing up, do you have whether it be then or now, like favorite comedians, like people that stand out to you?
Yeah. I watch stand up all like religiously. So many. There's so many. Obviously, Robin Williams is up there with his acting and with his stand up and all that kind of stuff. Jim Carrey's super early stuff. I just loved how animated he was, and when I was younger, I used to like practice those faces and like try those. And like Ace Ventura and all that kind of stuff. And then I love people like Bill Burr and like John Mulaney and Bo Burnham. He is so fantastic. I watched him when he was like, 22 or whenever he did his like first special on Netflix. I was like, this guy's so smart and his stuff is so quick and witty. And I was just like, I love it. I've watched his specials like 100 times over. I love him, and I could name 100. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
amazing women. Yeah, like Ali Wong and all those people. Like they're great.
Ali Wong's like last 2 specials have been dope. Also, oh my god, I can't remember the name of her series. She's great though. She's super great. Oh,
and Eliza Scherzinger, she's great too. And there's so many. I'm forgetting a million.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just appreciate them all so much. And like Bert Kreischer and those guys, Tom Segura. I love their podcast show as well. But yeah, I always thought that was so cool how they just command a room and just, I don't know. I just think there's something really cool about that. That's on my bucket list. Just once I want to do like some sort of stand-up special. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. You're gonna start doing rooms once
maybe. Yeah. Just like small rooms or something. That'd be cool.
Although you do have an advantage because like you could just sell a show and have the crowd on your side right from the beginning. Not have to deal with that, like the full on heckling. Ooh, but then do you get as good? I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's exactly because I like that. I'm totally fine with criticism. Like if somebody's like, that sucked, I'm like, okay, I'm going back. Like I'm ready. Like it's just, that's totally fine. Like you can't, I think you gotta have tough skin with what we do in general, like on the internet. Like you just need to not care. And I don't. I'm pretty, I just do what I like. And
there's never been a comment that hit you in the stomach.
The worst comments that I read are like, women aren't funny. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, how do you immediately just invalidate whatever you're going to say? Say that sentence first. Women aren't funny. Okay, cool, thank you.
All right. That's a great argument. Keep scrolling, Betty. That's pretty much the worst thing I've read. So I'm sure it'll get worse. I don't know what people will say, but
what is you know what? A thing I always actually, there's 2 questions I'm going to ask. One, and feel free to decline. What is your relationship with drinking or any drugs?
Oh, okay. I really don't drink at all that much. Like I'm not against it or anything like that. And that comes from my dad. He's an alcoholic, or he was. He's actually sober right now. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He's doing really good right now. But yeah, just years of that, and then years of I had an auntie that was just like alcoholic as well, and it was just hard to see. And it was just like, I don't want that. Like I don't like that. And the only time I ever drink is when it's like celebratory or I'm at like a party. I'll casually drink.
Sure.
But and I had my moments, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. When I was of age, I had my moments where I had those.
Yes, when you were definitely 100% of age, yes.
Yes, 100%. And in like high school and all those kind of times.
When you were 21 in high school, which was weird for you, being so old.
It's 19 because I'm in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, and also I had experiences where I drank alcohol and bad things happened with other people and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have any desire to drink really in terms of drugs and all that kind of stuff. And it's legal here, weed and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely dabble in that. It helps with a lot of stuff for me, like whether it's sleep. I have suffered with insomnia since I can remember, since I was like 11, 12 years old and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely helps with that and just calming me down or even getting the creative juices flowing, So I'm all about the cannabis. It helps a lot. I don't do it all the time, but it definitely helps. And that's it. I'm pretty vanilla.
Pretty vanilla, tame.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think, I didn't drink at all until college because I always associated with, my mom was an alcoholic growing up and I just always associated it with outbursts of like anger and or violence or stuff like that. And it wasn't until I was around people that would sometimes drink casually that I realized like, oh, you can drink and it doesn't affect everyone the same way. And it like doesn't always turn you into a different person.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't completely alter into a monster and it's just like,
and then it made me like, it was that was the first time that I realized like, oh, people that have issues with substance abuse, like it genuinely should be talked about like it's a disease a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% coming from, obviously you come from a home with that, but absolutely. And it really, it scares me a lot. That's why I stay away from alcohol and a lot of that, because I have an extremely addictive personality and it comes from like my workaholic and all this kind of stuff. Whenever I get caught up in something, I am like, that is my thing. So there was a time where it wasn't good. So I'm like, I need to just like very much moderation or just not at all.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I never understood like people that need a glass of wine after work or that kind of thing. And I'm scared to find out. So I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. A lot of it, it's interesting. It's like, there's certain things that it feels like it's in the marketing and it got like the wine mom, like kind of thing.
And like for me as a hairdresser, wine moms everywhere, they're just like, I'm going home, I'm drinking 2 bottles. And I'm like, I don't think that's good, but all right. And I think I just learned from that. I'm like, you have 4 kids at home. I don't think you should be getting 2 bottles deep, but that's,
Well,
so
yeah, I like, I think it's always interesting to me. One of my first things with realizing like, oh, maybe cannabis isn't the worst thing in the world is like having a wine mom be like, it's the devil. And I'm like, you can barely talk right now. What are you talking about? How are you like shaming me for this thing that helps me sleep and like calms down my anxiety?
Exactly. And I'm not like obliterated when I have, a little bit of, it's just like, I'll just chill, makes the movie a little bit better and I fall asleep. That's about it. It's pretty tame. So yeah, that's, I don't plan on, and I don't want to get into any of that kind of stuff.
What about what's your relationship with money?
I am the definition of a saver. I don't spend my money at all, like ever. And I've always been like that ever since I was younger. And I think it's because my mom and dad instilled in us to save our money, put it into, tax-free savings and then RSP and get a house, and you need to get into the market and all that kind of stuff, which is totally valid and everything. And I internalized it and I was like, okay, I'm going to save as much money as possible forever. So, and it's even like now that, obviously I'm doing much better than I was when I was a hairdresser and all that kind of stuff. I don't feel the need to buy things. Like I just want to save and I want to invest and then see what more I can make and all that kind of stuff. And I think it comes from, I didn't come from a poor family, but I came from, we didn't do the trips. Like I never went,
Sure.
I've been to Mexico. We went camping in tents and like, great. Loved it. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world, but yeah. And then like, we never got like when the iPod Nanos came out and all that kind of stuff, like everybody else came back from Christmas break with all their stuff. And I was like, I got like the MP3 player that was like,
yeah.
So yeah, I just, I think it comes from that. Probably.
So if all of a sudden you had $1 million, you're just investing it?
Well, not purely, but well, maybe. I don't know. Like my dad is a real estate agent and all that kind of stuff. And then my mom comes from that. My mom and dad, they had like 2 houses by the time they were 22. Wow. And then they just grew off of that and all that kind of stuff. So I've learned a lot from that and everything. And I just want to get to a place where I'm comfortable and that I could, if I ever do have kids, they could be comfortable, but they'll still have to work because nobody's sliding through. And then, I don't know. And then eventually I'll move to a cabin in the woods and become irrelevant and I'll be fine with that.
I talk to so many people and I only believe a few of them when they say they're fine going back to like,
I am. Because I think it comes from the fact that I never wanted this necessarily. I'm absolutely blessed that I have it now, but I'm a super private person.
Sure.
So this is all very, very weird for me. I never wanted to be like, yes, I wanted to be a comedian and yes, I wanted to do all these things, but I wanted to do it with like a mask on or something where I didn't, I don't know. I don't know what I wanted, but it's, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. And that's not a lie. Like that is my plan.
To just cabin in the woods it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm like, whatever, 5 acres, have like 10 dogs. That would be great. I don't know when, but it'll happen.
See, that's the thing is whenever I say something like that, I'm like, I'm just lying to myself. I get such a joy out of like certain random things. Like, and it depends on the moment. Like every now and then it's like, I really crushed a story and I like, there was like some sort of real world impact. That doesn't always happen because the world moves so fast from one thing to another. But like, I genuinely get pumped when I can work with like really dope artists and we create something out of nothing. And then we get love from people that are then like buying it. It's weird because it's like, obviously seeing the money number is great, but it's just like feeling validated in that way of like, one of our most successful things is my kid has to be 2 years ago at this point, said one day we'll all be skeletons, and it turned into like a clothing line and like a mindset for a lot of people of like essentially like just do it. We're all gonna die one day, and it's like it feels. And people, no matter like I'll have not done a launch for 3 months, and people like post their thing or like a photo of themselves wearing it while they're like on a weight loss journey or a health journey and like hiking and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, seeing the real world impact, that is the one thing, the main thing that brings joy to me now.
That's awesome. And that's very much me too. Like seeing people like actually benefit from the content I make, or that makes them happier. It's getting them through a time, or they're in the hospital or whatever. It's great. And then I do say like, oh yeah, I'd love to move to cabin in the woods. But then I am also like I said, like I love work. I think I would implode if I wasn't working. So I don't know. There would have to be something there where I could still do something.
What are you going to do in the cabin? You going to whittle wood? What are you doing?
I love doing that. So
you love whittling?
I'm just kidding. Yeah. When I went camping in my tent, I would whittle shanks. Okay. And I would
I've never gone camping.
Hunt.
I've never gone camping.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what that would be like. It just
what? It's the best. Me and my dad, we used to go like into the back country and we'd go fishing in like these fishing holes that would have like, we'd get like 50 fish a day because nobody would go in those fishing holes. We'd see like bears. We'd be like shooting trees.
You'd
and like
see bears.
Buffalo. I live in a forest now. I see bears and deer not every day, but it's great. I love it. I just grew up in that though. That was my upbringing. So it's something I know will be very important to me when I get older. I'll need to be like, somewhere I can smell the wilderness. I don't know. But like, I'm so fresh into this, only a year in. And I think as I move forward and if I succeed more and everything like that and start to meet people, because I think COVID has really held back. So it doesn't feel real to me yet. As I feel like once I'm inserted into this industry and stuff and I start to meet people, I think I'll put the cabin in the woods back a little further back, maybe in like my 40s or something like that. I don't know.
I know, man. If I saw a bear, I'd be like, we are moving. Yeah. We're moving right now.
No, they don't care. Like at least here, well, like where I am, because I see people all the time. It's still scary though. Like they're huge and they could kill you, like Revenant style. So like nobody messes with them. Like you back up, you act big. And you just say it like, and hope for the best.
So you have those bears. You have the get big bears, not the go into the fetal position bears.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, what's going on? And they keep walking. If they have cubs, you just like act like a statue. Like, go.
No, I need to live in a place where where it's okay that I have no survival skills and no sense of preservation.
You're dead in a zombie apocalypse, man.
Oh, done. We're all dead. That's what this last year showed us. And we have maybe 2 months of goodwill out of people, and then go fuck yourself.
They're eating each other. Like it's bad. Yeah. It's gonna be bad.
Everyone in the first 2 months of the pandemic, I think, figured out: do I have a friend that if shit really went down, I'm going to, or am I that person? I'm not that person. I know that. And all my friends that I would I would say like that's where I'm going, they've moved to Texas, and so I got a long ride ahead of me if anything really goes down.
Of course, they're in Texas. Yeah, all the people with the guns back there, and I feel like I'd be pretty resourceful. I'd probably die though, but I don't know. I'd probably make it like 6 months.
Yeah, I was like, do you have that family or that friend that you're like you could actually survive?
Yeah, definitely. My dad would definitely he'd be pretty badass in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, we got
same as my boyfriend. He'd be pretty good too.
Yeah. What does your boyfriend do?
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place. Well, right now because of the pandemic, he was actually going to go into the Canadian Armed Forces, but that kind of held him back a little bit. So he's very type A, very like like I'm a mess, and he's like. He has like a place for his toothbrush and he has to roll the toothpaste up a certain way. And I'm just like coming in like Gorilla Glue in it. Like, so that's him. We balance each other out. But right now he's just, he's a manager at a restaurant right now and everything. And he's hoping to get into the Canadian Armed Forces as soon as he's allotted to and everything. So,
Man, when people do like real shit, I'm just like, good on you, man. I can't do it.
Me too. Me too. I'm like, I'll wear my glasses and my stupid tiny hands and do my
How rude of me. I'm interrupting myself again to thank one of the fantastic sponsors today, Skillshare. No matter what 2021 brings, you can spend it creating something meaningful with Skillshare's online classes. Because Skillshare is an online learning community with millions of members and thousands of classes. Take a class, connect with others, or even teach a class of your own. Premium membership gets you unlimited access to high-quality classes on topics such as music production, photography, or even how to increase productivity. I know that I've said it before, but my all-time favorite on Skillshare has got to be Gary Vaynerchuk's Context is Key social media strategy in a noisy online world. In just under 90 minutes, Gary shares the same tactics and social media strategies that he's used with huge brands like GE, PepsiCo, and even my favorite team that never fails to let me down, the New York Jets. And if that one specifically doesn't interest you, there are a ton of things from understanding and investing in crypto to the art of ceramics, web design, graphic design, learning an instrument, and more. Skillshare really does have it all. And the best part is that Skillshare is super affordable. Their annual subscription is less than $10 a month. So if you want to explore your creativity, head on over to Skillshare.com/DeFranco and get a free trial of a Skillshare premium membership. That is Skillshare.com/DeFranco. That's my last name, DEF Franco. Yeah, go check it out. You're welcome. Thank you. And back to the podcast. So I know that you talked about like wanting to take things to like a different level, whether it be a TV show or something like that. What ideally right now in your head is that? Like, are you writing it and producing it and starring in it? Is it like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so right now we're just I'm working with a production company, and we wrote a couple episodes, and we're like did a pitch deck and everything. So we're pitching it to networks right now. So we're right in the kind of beginning stages of seeing if somebody would be interested in it. And it's basically a show where it does revolve around not all of my characters, but some of my main characters, and then having but I would play multiple of them, probably no more than like 3 or 4, because that's a lot, and then have castmates around me, and it very like Schitt's Creek, I'm gonna say The Office kind of vibe, like because I do like.
You're like, I thought The Office was okay, but here's what I would have done. It's like, oh my god,
that's literally what it is. But yeah, so that's kind of the vibe. The vibe.
So you're thinking like
at least
to a certain degree, Tracy Ullman-esque.
Yeah, kind of like that. And then I don't know if we would go live action route. Right now we're pitching for live action, but if it went animation, I wouldn't be opposed to that or something like that if it got picked up that way. So yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here like hoping for the best. If it doesn't happen, I have these amazing platforms, like especially YouTube, where I could just do my own show on there if I wanted to, if I really wanted to have like that show, you know? So yeah, I'm just constantly just riding this wave.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens from here to 1 year from now for you, because it's like, do you know like where you stand as far as like most subscribed on TikTok or most followed on TikTok? Do you know?
I do, because my mom knows, and she sends me all the things. She's like, look at this new thing about you. I'm like, I don't Google myself, I don't do any of that. But yeah, I think I'm like 38th or 40th or something like that.
Oh wait,
in the world.
I gotta see this.
Something like that.
I gotta see this. You've been big now for a little bit. I always love to do this with anyone and just see their reaction after we do it. Let's see. Okay, yours isn't super. I always like to Google people's net worth to see what they say, what the internet says.
Oh yeah.
Have you done this?
It's not correct.
It is not correct?
No.
It says you have 100,000 to 200,000. Wait, this is why it's so all over the place. It's either 100,000 or 400,000.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, wait.
I haven't looked in a while.
Let's see. Oh, I think you're on a highest earners list. Ooh, let's see. This is going to make you uncomfortable to talk about the money?
No, that's fine.
I was like, I love looking mine up, and I'm just like, I'm either.
Yeah, it's. I've asked other creators. I'm like, this is what your net worth is, and they're like, that's not even close. So I'm like, yeah, and that it's either like way below or like they're way above.
Okay, no, this is. Why did your name pop up for that? You weren't even in that article. I think I know what article you're talking about, because my mom told me, and she's like, oh, there's this new, and then I wasn't even in it. I was like, oh. Right.
I don't know. You look up TikTok or anything to do with a TikToker, and a million articles will come up about random stuff.
I'm getting away from this. This is useless.
I know. It's because I'm not big enough.
What do you mean you're not big enough? I would literally, if I didn't know a person and they had no family, I would kill them to get the attention that you have on TikTok.
Oh my God. Okay, well, you heard it here first, folks.
Also, that's a joke in case I'm ever accused of a violent matter. This is like 2 times in the past 48 hours that I said I would inflict violence on someone. I wouldn't. I'm a soft boy when it comes to that.
Yeah, just dark humor. It's fine. I'm like that too.
I always want to, actually, this is in the cards somewhere, but I always ask, what is your impression of me, Kris? Who am I to you?
You are like my news.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, I see your face every day. Both me and my boyfriend, we watch you on separate devices to give you the views.
Thank you. That's a big one.
Put you on the TV too if you want, whatever. But yeah, no, seriously, like it's so interesting. I was so nervous to do this, and then as soon as you sat down and I started talking to you, I'm like, oh, it's just Phil. Like I felt like I already knew you, because like you, and even when the quick meeting we had before, you are who you are on your show. Like you genuinely are. And
I always have to check this in case anyone's like is like, I'm going to expose Phil, because I don't put any of this out. I don't put out that I'm a nice guy. Everyone says like, oh, Phil acts like this nice guy.
You tell people you're going to punch them.
I am sometimes justifiably, sometimes not justifiably an asshole. It's like who I am. I am not a perfectionist, but I expect respect, and I try and give respect, whether it be to projects or anything like that. So like if there's ever And I've also talked about like, I'm not a perfect person and there's like shortcomings and I sucked as a boss and stuff like that. I'm an okay individual and I always try and learn. That's the only thing I'll say.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. You have your opinions, but then you're open-minded. And I was like, yeah, that's great. You know, it's just like, yeah, you're not.
I just get very nervous that this people say that I'm a nice guy. And I'm like, I have nice moments. I have love in my heart for people, but I also have a lot of hate in there.
Yeah. Oh no, I feel that. Okay. I feel that. I think if anybody talked about me, at least I think that people would be like, it's just so nice. Like she's got, and I was just like, I have my moments. Like and my family would be like, well, I don't know, man. But yeah, so it's okay. You know, nobody's perfect.
When's the last time you had a blow up moment?
A blow up? Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't get angry very easily. I really don't. I brush a lot of stuff off. I don't hold grudges or anything like that. I mean, besides like a stupid fight I would have had with my boyfriend, I think the last blow up I would have had would have been me quitting hairdressing to be a TikToker with my parents. And it's always that conversation. It was the same thing when I quit college to be a hairdresser. It was just like they just didn't think it was a good idea. And now they think it's great. Now they're super supportive and all that kind of stuff. But I think I have a healthy fear of my parents. When I had that blow up, it was just like a stand my ground, like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm literally 24 years old. I can do what I want. I'm an adult. I don't live with you anymore. Like, so yeah, that was probably the last blow up moment. And that was fine after.
Were they just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this with your life?
Yeah, basically, like they believed in me and they thought that everything was happening to me was really cool. But it was just like, oh, but like, it's like, okay, but like still be skeptical. Sure. And I am so like skeptical and like I'm that kind of person. That's why I think this is all going to go away tomorrow because my parents instilled that in me.
As long as it doesn't overwhelm your life and add to the anxiety, I think it's a healthy mindset to have.
I think it is. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm always ready for that to happen and everything. Cause you do see it happen, especially in TikTok. I think a lot of people find one thing that really worked for them. And it happens in YouTube too. And then they just do it over and over and over and over again until it becomes super stale. And people are like next. And that's what I've tried to stay away from with my content. I've just been, I started with one character and now I'm on to like 30 characters. And then I mix in the family content and all that kind of stuff. So I try to change it up as much as I can. And I think it's worked for me pretty decently so far. So yeah, I think that's the most important part about all this. But then you go to creators like you and you have like your set, like I do the news and I do this and I do my podcast, but you have like that, you waver through it. So
I slowly change things, and then having the ability to be able to check out's not the right word, but to be like, okay, I have the format. I'm not feeling it today. Cause I only like really like my videos 1 out of every 4, but I know that the schedule matters. And then when people say you're my news, I'm like, okay, the consistency matters. But there are certain days that I'm just like, man, this is going to bomb. I don't have a good thumbnail. Like there's no, it sucks that even matters, but okay, let's talk about the Israeli election. Let's do it. Yeah. That's my lead.
Yeah, I put that clickbait stuff in there or whatever. Yeah, no, I'm watching it no matter what. And I'm sure there's a million people like me that are still watching it no matter what.
My favorite thing is when we have a podcast, someone on the podcast is on the PDS, there is a 70% likelihood that I get to put KallMeKris exposed in the title.
Yeah.
That'll be good. It'll be, have you had anyone, has there been any like, focused, like, I don't like this person content made that got like any traction whatsoever?
Wait, like on my channel?
Yeah, about you.
Oh, no, I don't have like one person that's done it. I posted like one video kind of not mocking Bella Porch because I don't mind Bella Porch. I think what she does is fine. But I was just doing like, the facial expressions and that kind of thing along with the song. And I got so much hate on that one video because people are like, because it's people that never watched any of my other content before. And they're like, she just has the views because, she's blonde and white and cute and she's doing facial, whatever. And I was just like, damn, like, this is probably what Bella deals with all the time. I'm like, that's rough. But yeah, so that's probably the only time. And there was like this one video where this guy just basically ranted about me. I don't know his name. And he was just saying how like stupid I was and stuff. I was like, okay, That's fine. Maybe go watch like one of my other videos and then you go shut up.
That's interesting about the Bella Porch thing, because you kind of inadvertently got to be in her shoes for a second.
I really did. For the people that don't know what I did like before that or after that, I think after I did that video, because I just thought like, why does she have all this hype and stuff? I'm like, why do I care? Like, good for her. Like, that's awesome.
I think that's a healthy mindset.
Successful with what she does, cool. Like, it's none of my business. And honestly, I follow her, and I think she's like she's cool, and she does what she does. And unless it's like something super inappropriate, like, or I don't know, or if you're a minor doing like not good things, because a lot of people do that on TikTok. I just think like if you're successful in what you do and you like what you do, then I don't think people should judge that.
No, especially because it's like you're building your own thing. That's another thing. From a business standpoint, like she stood out to me initially as like an algorithmic, interesting outlier, because it was just like all of a sudden out of nowhere when people pop up on your page constantly. And then, people have like is this person a plant, blah, 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 sort of things. But the big thing that's been interesting to me about her is it feels very, maybe the rise wasn't orchestrated, but like the introduction of like the paca thing, the alpaca thing, like that was like, so very few creators so early on understand to try to make a brand, especially something that's so obviously geared towards like clothing or another thing so early on. And I was like, what is happening? This is 3 years down the line we'll usually see this. So I was like, oh, she's got people around her. I think not to discount the ability of a huge creator, but it's just you very rarely see that.
No, but I understand what you mean. It came out of nowhere, and that's why everybody was so like Illuminati and all this other stuff. Like it was crazy, all the TikTok drama. And then at the same time, I don't know. You see her now, and she's just kind of doing the same stuff, just doing her own thing. And she probably has people saying like, do this or try to do this or whatever. Like I don't have anybody, so maybe she doesn't either. I have no idea. I have no idea what goes on with her. So
we'll see.
I don't know. I don't assume.
Hey, it's another ad spot. I love monetizing conversations I have with people I very much like. But that said, I want to thank one of the other fantastic sponsors of today's episode of A Conversation With, Full Sail University. A lot of you beautiful bastards, actually a number of past employees of mine have been Full Sail graduates. Hell, even in a few months, my sister will be one as well. And if you're inspired by the talented digital media personalities like the ones that we have on this show, and maybe you want to pursue your own dreams of becoming a content creator or something related to the world of entertainment, you might want to check out Full Sail University. They offer a variety of degrees in media, arts, entertainment, and technology. And the media communications bachelor's degree in particular, offered online or on campus in Florida, is kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the entertainment industry, guiding students through skills in digital video and audio production, web editing, graphic design, and more. And beyond just learning the technical skills for these forms of communication, the program focuses on storytelling and strategy to help develop integrated media campaigns. So if you want to take the next step towards your dreams and you want more info on what these programs can do for you, visit fullsail.edu/Phil. That's fullsail.edu/Phil to learn more about Full Sail's programs. But that's all for now, and back to your regularly scheduled podcast. I'm gonna flip it. I've enjoyed doing this the last few times, and I'll see if you can handle the pressure. You're the host. You're the interviewer. What questions do you have for me, Kris?
Oh my gosh! What?
You said you did your homework.
Okay. All right. Yep. I forget everything that I watched. How is it being in this industry for like 10 years now? Like for you, like how have I can't even imagine that, or like the pressure of that, or the ebbs and flows. Like, how have you handled it through the 10 years?
Very horribly initially. I had a big ego. Felt untouchable, king of the world. Luckily, my girlfriend, now wife, humbled me. And I had good friends around me. The ones that kind of grew into self-destructive behaviors and stuff like that, ended up finding different friend groups that accommodated that. And so early on, it was really all like, it goes back to why I enjoy so many like grassroots TikTok creators. It all started from a love, boredom love of like trying new things, collaboration, just finding somebody. I mean, a lot of the early YouTube creators are just kind of misfits. Like we were just like people that didn't have good the ability to talk to other human beings. It was horrifying, or we were never given the opportunity. And so finding people early on, and then there are a lot of people for initially that resisted kind of the mainstreamification, the flood of money, and it just seemed like an opportunity to me. And so seeing it go from this like small thing where people just did it for love, and then we were able to kind of like monetize stuff where you'd have like a 1 to 4 million view video, and you'd be like, thank you for this $1,000 sponsorship. So it was like just trying to figure out any way to do it. Like I had to live in my car for a little bit because there was just no money in it, but I loved it. Even when I didn't know what I was doing. And so I actually love how mature the industry is getting, and that there seems to be like an actual respect for online creators. And yeah, that also means that some people go through kind of a Disney-esque or a TikTok house pipeline now. But I love it because it's also like we can be masters of our universe. The fact that I have so many conversations now that, in addition to like me trying to make a bunch of different companies myself, that some I don't even advertise in the show, that in addition to sponsorships, I get to be an equity owner and stuff. And really, it feels like the respect is there. And the next 10, like there's been like this talk of like, who's going to be the first YouTube billionaire? And like, some people that I hate have said that, where it's like you have like a Jake Paul. I think he's just a garbage human being. His brother has redeeming qualities and personal growth. But then like you have Mr. Beast, who's like a all around likable guy, has matured over the years with his content. And you're just like, that seems like a guy that's trying to do cool shit, not only for himself, and like he just wants to see how big and weird this thing can get, but also help people that
he's great.
Yeah. And so like, I genuinely think we're going to see our first YouTube billionaire. It's probably going to come from one of these equity deals, or a number of them. But I don't know. It's been fun. And the only thing that kind of scares me at times is there is a valid thing. And I've seen this a lot on TikTok, and I love part of it and I hate part of it. TikTok in general feels very much like there's been a rise in, like we've seen in the last 5 years, of an attempt to try and hold people accountable, right?
Yeah.
But when that hits a place, especially if it's stuff from like years and years and years ago, and that person has shown personal growth, to not validate it. And here's the thing. You as someone receiving that, like you don't owe immediate forgiveness to anyone. Like, and no, that's, I super get that. But I think that allowing people, there are certain people, like there's some people in scandals right now that I'm gonna not name because it feels like there's more about to drop. What you're talking about. That I'm just like, especially when it relates to minors, that I'm like, if you fell down a flight of stairs, I wouldn't be sad about it. And it kind of sucks that you're just going to be allowed to probably continue that behavior once you realize that
because of how popular we are.
Yeah. I'm like, but
yeah, just cancel culture.
But I get nervous about it as long as like, because there's a holding people accountable, which we definitely need to. But then I think we do a disservice when we treat everything the same at the same level of like, and we close doors on people that are guilty of less egregious things, that, especially if it's words, because I think a lot of people grew up in ignorant places. And I mean, I've talked about, I always kind of have this hard conversation with myself where I'm like, I hate that guy who I used to be, but that's it. It's like, it's pushing off the blame as if it's another person. It's like, I was that person. Yeah. And so what I end up hoping is that the personal growth and stuff like that reflects. You don't get that with everyone because everyone gets to see that thing in the moment. But yeah, so I think that's the only thing that concerns me now. But everything else, awesome. Especially if we can also have a culture of accountability, but not, We'll see.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And yeah, it's scary being in the space and being like, I haven't done anything, but maybe somebody's going to find some. I don't know. It's just like, it's just like, I don't know. It's scary. Or I've even had like a couple, I won't name names or anything, a couple like TikTok friends where it's just like something's come up like 8 years ago when they tweeted something or whatever. It's just like he's a completely different person now or whatever. But yeah, it's scary, but it's good scary at the same time.
I think everyone that has a Twitter account needs to just sign up to something that after 6 months, it just gets deleted.
Delete.
Because I don't even know what I said a year ago, and if I agree with that because based off of new information.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a Twitter account, so I'm winning right now.
Yeah,
I was like, I should.
No, that's like there was oh my God, I always forget his last name, so I'm not even gonna do an attempt for the name. But there was a comedian that just released a special, and he was like, I love being like, I think he's like 40, 45. He's like, because everything I did in high school is a rumor. like there's no documentation. It's just like someone said something and I was like, what a dream. But I also lived on the cusp of that because it's like almost all MySpace pages and shit got shut down. And so it's like, I don't even remember. I don't remember anything like that. So.
No, I know. I wasn't able to have Facebook until I was like grade 10 or 11.
Parents.
So I really,
good parents.
Yeah, honestly. And it was for the best. I mean, I snuck a Facebook account and I got grounded for like months after they found it. But yeah, like, so I was pretty, like Instagram wasn't a thing. Snapchat wasn't a thing. I was like, I don't know. So yeah, it's, I kind of am okay with that. I see kids now, especially my younger siblings, and I'm like, damn, like everything you do is on the internet. Like it's scary.
Kris, I know we weren't naming names, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. See how agreeable you will be if you could name 1 to 3 creators and they don't get to post on the internet anymore. Who are those people?
Oh God, well, Jake Paul.
Okay, 1.
Oh my gosh. I want to say it, but I'm scared. James Charles. This is so hard. I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of scandalous. I watch your stuff. That's the only stuff I'm trying to think of other scandals.
You're like, what have you covered? Oh God.
Seriously though. Seriously, you're the only and then I see some TikTok drama sometimes, but maybe it's interesting because I used to watch him all the time when I was younger and all this stuff. Maybe not him. I don't know. No, I don't want to say it. I think Jeffree Star's just got enough money. He doesn't need to post anymore. Just because of that, maybe. So yeah, those are my names.
There we go. Those 3. You're a braver soul than me.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I go off of the facts I have now, okay? And then if there's other facts in the future that dispute that, great. But I don't agree with the things that they do, or have been accused of doing. So
you know what? I like that you have a stronger spine than me. I always have to play this little dance on a lot of stuff, but yeah.
I mean, you kind of outright asked me.
Yeah. I mean, based off of the information we have now, I don't know. I don't think I can disagree with your list. Yeah,
and that's what I'm basing it off of. If it changes in the future, then I'll, retract.
Issue an apology. Set the camera down.
Yeah. I'll finally have my apology video I can make.
Oh, no. See, what I've done is I've just made a habit out of fake apologizing for a million things, so that if I ever have to really do it, no one's gonna care. People are like, sure you did. I'm like, yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, people are going to have their opinions on those people, and no matter what you put in their face or what evidence you have, they're just going to be like, nah. And it is what it is.
Kris, do you have, I know that a lot of people live like the whatever happened, and I wouldn't change a thing. Do you have any regrets?
Any regrets? Yeah, going to university.
You're like, it was a waste of money. Although, wait, is it is that like paid for there?
Not fully, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper in Canada and everything. It's like, I don't know, a year would be, and especially since I had a scholarship, it was like I don't know, $6,000
Wow.
for like a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And it depends on what school you're going to and stuff. And it depends if you have housing and all that kind of stuff, but it's significantly cheaper than the States. But yeah, I don't have too many regrets, just because like I got to this place where I am now and figured out who I am now because of everything that's happened in my life, I guess. Even like the really bad stuff that has happened to me when I was younger and stuff. I think I'd be a completely different person if that stuff didn't happen. So yeah, that's my answer. I know it's not the answer you want,
but it's your answer. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's mine.
All right. This might be the most important question. It's a fill in the blank question. Okay. I'm going back to the cards. Okay. The purpose of life is to...
Can it be more than one
word?
Yes,
yeah. Okay. Dance.
Right. Happy. Like, I don't know. I think the purpose in life is to... I know it's going to sound so stupid, but it comes from me being depressed most of my life. And it's just to like find happiness, your happiness, and whatever that is. And for me, it's what I do now. And making other people that's what makes me happy. And I'll do this as long as I can. And I'm super happy doing it. So that's my
Ride this
answer.
Thing till the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
Because you have a 0.0000001% opportunity.
Pretty much. And that's what everybody keeps telling me. And it doesn't make the pressure any better.
I like that you're like, sometimes I'm a bit of a fragile person and I'm really anxious. So I really appreciate you putting this extra pressure on me.
Yeah, basically just like, don't fuck it up. Because you only got this one chance, one opportunity. Rest of the Eminem lyrics.
I live my life by Eminem lyrics, which turns out not always the best.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh my God. That was a standout to me, was when there was like a TikTok effort. I don't emotionally get attached to any sort of movement, but when there was like a movement to cancel Eminem based off of his songs, and I was just like, here's the thing. I understand that a lot of it's super problematic, and I don't stand by like the shit that's being said, but you need to understand, as a very angry 14, 15-year-old boy, it's hard for me to say anything negative about Eminem because 70% of my personality was based on the anger in that music. And
me too, 100%. And I was furious when I saw that those trying to cancel him. I was like, absolutely not. Do not take Eminem away from us. Like, he is a poet.
I was like, let me also say this, because I know if you bring up his lyrics, this is not gonna work.
It's bad.
But yeah,
it's bad.
But I think that was one of the first examples of a situation where I was like, okay, here's the deal. Would I say these things to a person? No. I? It was like it was just like finding myself in a kind of indefensible place based off of like the sensitivities and understanding I have about people's plights and their own experiences. But I was like, it's still my shit. I was like, I can still put on the Marshall Mathers LP and just be like, happy.
I know. Yeah, you can't really defend the lyrics that much, but it was your childhood, and it's like, I don't know. I agree 100%.
I'm gonna be 80 years old listening to that, and my grandkids are gonna bring their friends over, and they'll be like, "It's just Grandpa. He was born in a different time."
Yeah, exactly. He's intolerant.
Oh, no, I just like the way the words sound. What they mean is a whole different thing.
I like the rhythm. I don't even listen to the words. Yeah, it's great.
All right, I'm gonna give you one final question, Kris. And it's always, if you did your research, maybe you have something prepped, which makes this less fun. What is a piece of advice that you'd give to a teenager growing up, whether it be for anything? It could be life advice, it could be work advice, it could be anything.
Yeah, well, I'd start off by saying that this point in your life is so small, it's so short, and it'll mean nothing to you after you're out of this period. Because I know when you're in that, you're just like, this is my life, like high school and all that stuff. It's so important, and the people are so important. And you're probably not going to know 90% of the people that are like after you've graduated and all that kind of stuff. And just to I don't know. It's hard to tell somebody to like be true to themselves and do all that kind of stuff because I didn't know who I was when I was a teenager. So it's really hard. But I guess it's just I don't know. It's such a difficult thing. It's so difficult.
I think that's great advice. I mean, I give that advice to anyone that's like, I mean, for some people that's their whole high school experience, but anyone that's in an extreme moment of stress or feeling lost, I think this is just a moment. Like the way that I've tried to think about the last year is like, this is one day just going to be, it's horrible now. It call it that horrible it is, but one day this is just going to be something that happened. It's the way we get to disconnect from it at some point.
Exactly. And it all comes back to like with like mental health and all that kind of stuff. That's what I have to do every day. And it's just like, if I have a really, really, really bad day or week, I'm just like, it's going to pass. Like it's going to go back. And that, it just comes back to like when I was in high school and I'm like, and it's funny looking back because you're just like, oh my God, I don't even remember like half the shit that went on back then. And it mattered so much to me at the time. Yes. It's just, you're just like, this boy doesn't like me. And then this guy is like, oh my God, just like stop. So I think that's what it is that life is so short. And I know it's the most like generic thing to say, but it really is. And I'm just try to make the most of it and surround yourself with people that actually care about you. That's really important too.
Yeah. Quality, not quantity.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. I got 2 friends.
That's good.
I talk to you once a month.
That's plenty. Otherwise, I try and keep it small because I feel like my trend over the last month has been me apologizing to friends for not being a better friend.
Yeah, it is. And I think it comes with this work too, because at least for you and I don't know, just get really into it. Oh, yeah. And it's just like, oh shit, I have people I should be talking to.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, like, especially because it's so early on, it's like, I imagine you're hungry for it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Once I've gotten here and like I say before, it's not what I aimed for at the beginning. But now that I have it, I'm just like, I'm going to, like I said, like ride this horse till it dies. Like, let's see how far I can go. Let's see what I can do with this. Like I have the platform. I can talk about things that matter to me. I can go, do things that I never thought was possible. Maybe acting, maybe whatever. So yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely hungry for more. Definitely.
That's the way we're ending it. Kris, thank you so much.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. I had an awesome time.